Hi guys, Coach Jerry, Tower 26, and let's talk a little bit about propulsion. I'm going to play this little video in regular speed and then we'll break it down into tiny bites. And what I'd like you to look at today is just the setup of the stroke. We're not going to be concerned about too much else, so we're just going to go through the setup here, and I'm going to break this down and show some things that we've already discussed, such as, let's start with right here. No gaps, right? Cheek stays close to the shoulder. Those gaps are minimized. Next stroke, same thing here again. A lot of bubbles here, but no gaps. Everything stays fairly tight, as you can tell. A little out of camera focus there, but you get the idea. No gaps. So that prevents any sort of funnel or bucket from capturing water. Okay? And there you get, see there again, no gaps. Now, let's go into the catch phase here, or what I like to call the setup. Once that hand enters into the water, all we're going to do is extend forward and downward while getting that elbow elevated. Forward and downward while getting that elbow elevated. Now, for some of us, you're going to think that hand's way outside the shoulder line, but the camera is slightly off to the left. The hand is right in line with the shoulder. That stays within the channel. Now, let's look at a couple of things here. Elbow always above the wrist. Very high, elevated above the wrist. Now, we don't need an early vertical forearm, which is one of the things that are discussed quite a bit. We just need a vertical forearm, which means the elbow is above the wrist. Let's go through step by step here again. Hand goes down, down, down. And right about here is where propulsion now begins. All of this from here, from the time that hand entered the water, down to here, about right there, is all setup. There's nothing that's occurring there that gives any propulsion. It's just the setting up of the stroke. And if you'll notice, we don't have a very tight angle at all. Let's see if I do this properly here. You got about 130 something degree angle right there. Some folks get a little too tight in the angle and make it 90 degrees. But again, we have elbow up and the wrist is way down there with the fingertips pointing towards the bottom of the pool. So guys, this is all we need for setup. Hand out front, extended, goes down, and it starts going down. The fingers will start pointing towards the bottom of the pool, and then that elbow pops up and it sits out to the side. One of the directions is the elbow is always faced in that direction over there. Now, I want us to notice, here's the water surface. An early vertical forearm, which is something that's discussed quite a bit and is a very hot topic now and a very sexy discussion point. And all coaches talk about this. This is not important for triathletes, okay? In fact, this guy swimming here, which happens to be me that's a swimmer, has a vertical forearm, but it's not super high. It's all the way down here. Here's our water depth right there. So we've got a vertical forearm, but it's not high. The most important thing is that forearm, elbow stays above the wrist. Okay? So for today, the focus is just simply going to be on the beginning of the stroke as that hand enters into the water. Right there. Down, 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 and get it set up right so we're ready to hold on. And from about right here is where the power phase begins. And we'll get into that in the next step. Okay? Enjoy.